Welcome to BioWise with Aanchal. Today we are going to study about a simple concept that is very important to build up the foundation of chemistry. All those who have shown their love by subscribing my channel, thank you so much. And those who have not yet subscribed, kindly subscribe the channel before watching the same. Now today we will be talking about formation of ions. Now before understanding what are ions, we should know what is an atom, what is a molecule and what is an ion. Now when we talk about atoms, atoms are the smallest particle of a substance that may or may not exist independently but participate in all chemical reactions. Molecules are made up of atoms, and molecules are the smallest particle of substance that has all the property of the substance and it has independent existence. Is that clear? So let us understand a difference. If I write H, correct? I write H2, I write 2H, I write 2H2 and I write H2O. In all these, if I have to explain you what are these, now this is an element hydrogen, symbol of hydrogen, symbol of hydrogen, correct? And how we represent an atom? In my previous videos you must have seen that atom is represented as the symbol and A to Z. What is A? Atomic mass, and what is Z? Atomic number. So this is a representation of hydrogen as an element with a symbol H. If I write H, it means one atom of hydrogen. If I write H2, H2 means what? Two hydrogen atoms combine to form a molecule. Why atoms combine to form a molecule? To attain stability. Now if I tell you that hydrogen as an atom has only one electron in the outermost orbit, in fact it has only one electron, and another hydrogen also has one electron in the outermost orbit, then in order to attain stable configuration, you know that elements try to get the closest noble gas configurations. Closest noble gas to hydrogen is what? Helium. How many atoms, how many electrons helium has? It has 2. So hydrogen also wants to have 2. So it will share one electron with the other hydrogen atom and will form a molecule. So this is one molecule of hydrogen. Okay, we cannot change this number. Hydrogen cannot form a molecule like H3, H4. This is not possible. This number is fixed. So whenever there is a hydrogen gas released in any chemical reaction, you have to write H2. You cannot write H because H is an atom and molecules are released or formed. So H2 will be released. Is that clear? In your 8th standard, you have a chapter on hydrogen. You will come to know about this in the chapter. So now what is this? 2H. What is 2H? Now this number is number of atoms, number of molecules. See, this is 2 atoms of hydrogen. Okay. What is this? This is 2 molecules of hydrogen. 2 molecules of hydrogen. Understood? So if I say molecules, H2 should come in your mind. Similarly, if I have to talk about H2O, hydrogen has formed a molecule, a compound with oxygen. Hydrogen reacts with oxygen to form water. So here H2O is one molecule of water. Is the basic concept clear? what is an atom, what is a molecule of an element, and what is a molecule of a compound. Molecule of an element will contain one kind of atoms, but molecule of a compound will contain different types of atoms in a fixed ratio. So, water will always have hydrogen and oxygen in the ratio 2:1. Okay? You can change the number of molecules, but you cannot change the formula of a compound. Is that clear? Any doubt? Let me clear the board first. Now my question is, what are ions? You know that every atom has a tendency to lose or gain electrons. So, we will discuss the first 20 elements. Is that clear? Then I will have some questions for you to test your understanding. So, let us begin with the first element, that is hydrogen. Okay. Now, here hydrogen, what informations I need is first the representation, that is 1 1. Okay. Now, hydrogen, how many electrons, protons and neutrons? Neutrons are not important for formation of ions, but it is better that you know. Now, you know that hydrogen has got 1 electron. How many protons? 1 proton and 0 neutron. Is that clear? Now, hydrogen, in order to attain stability, must have the electronic configuration of helium. Helium has got 2 electrons. So, hydrogen need 1 electron, right. So, hydrogen needs 1 electron to form hydrogen ion. Now, since hydrogen has taken 1 electron, the number of electrons instead of 1 has become 2. Proton is 1 and neutron is 0. Now, you know that atoms are electrically neutral. That means number of electrons should be equal to number of protons. But in this case, 1 electron is balancing 1 proton, but 1 electron is extra. Since 1 electron is extra, it will acquire a negative charge. You understood? It will acquire a negative charge. Similarly, if hydrogen loses out that 1 electron what it had, okay, loses out 1 electron what it has, now what happens? Since it has lost that electron, so electron is 0, proton is 1 and neutron is 0, 1 proton extra. So, this will acquire a positive charge. So, hydrogen can form hydride ion as well as hydrogen anion. So, this is a positively charged ion, that is cation, and this one is an anion. This is an exception because hydrogen, you know that it does not behave the way it should, sitting on the alkali metals, behaving as halogens and alkali metals. It is a non-metal. So, this is what hydrogen ions formation or hydride ion formation is all about. Is that clear? After hydrogen, moving to the next, that is helium. Now, helium, what is the representation? A to Z, that is 2 and 4. So, it has got 2 electrons, 2 protons and 2 neutrons. So, and here 2 electrons fills the K shell. So, now K shell is full. Since K shell is full, there is no no choice or no need to lose or gain electrons. So, helium is a noble gas and it forms no ions. Clear? Moving to the next is lithium. Lithium is group 1 element, right? So, lithium 3, what should be the mass number? 7. Okay. Now, here number of electrons 3, and number of protons 3 and number of neutrons 4. Now, this 3 electrons K2 will be there in K shell and 1 will be there in L shell. This L shell starts getting filled. So, if lithium loses this electron, it will have the noble gas configuration same as helium. So what does lithium do? Lithium loses one electron. Now what happens after losing one electron? Lithium has got 2 electron left and 3 protons. One proton is extra, so that proton will give a positive charge to lithium. So it will form a lithium ion. Clear? Next one is beryllium, atomic number 4, mass number 9, right? Now here in this case, number of electrons is equal to 4, number of proton is equal to 4 and number of neutron is equal to 5. Okay? Now in order to attain the nearest noble gas configuration, it should have 2 electrons. Next noble gas is neon, that is 10, that is far away. So it has to get helium configuration. So in that case, beryllium has to lose 2 electrons to form beryllium what? You can see now it has lost 2 electrons. So new electron number is 2, proton is 4, 2 electron balances 2 protons, 2 protons are left, 2 positive charges. So you will have 2 positive charge making beryllium ion. Notice children, we are making cations, positively charged ion, lithium, beryllium. Let us see about boron. Boron 5, 11. So electron is 5, proton is also 5 and neutron is 6. Now in order to become stable, it should have 2 electrons. So it has to lose 3 electrons. So what? This becomes 2, 5 minus 2, 3. 5 protons, 2 electrons. So 2 electron balances 2 protons, 3 protons are extra. So 3 positive charge. Is that clear? Next one. Now carbon has got 6 and 12. So it has got electrons as 6, protons as 6 and neutrons as 6. Carbon do not form cation or anion. It does form carbide ions in certain cases. So generally carbon do not form ions. It believe in sharing. There is an exception. Chemistry is full of exceptions. So you will come across carbide ions, but it is very rare. Okay, carbide ions, that is C4 minus. Why C4 minus? You can see here this 6, it will lose, it will have 2 4 electronic configuration. So it will take 4 electrons. Okay. So in that case carbon is a non-metal, it forms a carbide ion which is a negatively charged ion. Remember this. Okay. Coming to the next, that is nitrogen, 7 and 14. Okay. Electron is equal to 7. That configuration, if you see, it is 2 and 5, 2 in the K shell, 5 in the L shell. Protons 7 and neutron also 7. Now in this case, in order to attain stable configuration, that is 5 electron, losing out 5 electron is difficult. So it is better if it gains 3 and makes the electronic configuration of the nearest noble gas, that is neon. So what does nitrogen do? Nitrogen, instead of losing electrons, gains 3 electron and form nitride ion. Nitride ion means it has gained 3 electron. So now instead of 7, now it has got 10 electrons. So 10 electrons and 7 protons. So 3 electrons extra. So 3 minus. This is your nitride ion. Nitride. Please mark it, nitride, IDE, nitride ion. Is that clear? Moving to the next. Moving to the next is oxygen. Oxygen, that is 8, atomic mass 16. So, electron is 8, that is 2, 6. Proton is also 8 and neutron is also 8. Now, 6, in order to make this 6 8, it needs 2 electrons, correct? So, oxygen gains 2 electrons to form oxygen what? Electron, if after gaining electron it becomes 10, so 10 electron and 8 proton. So, it has 2 electrons extra that it has gained. So, 2 negative charge, that is your oxide ion. Clear? Next one is fluorine, that is 9 and 19. So, electron is 9, proton is 9, neutron is 10, that becomes 2, 7. So, for making this 7, 8, you need 1 electron. So, fluorine will gain 1 electron to form what? This becomes 10 again, 1 electron extra. So, F minus, that is fluoride ion. Clear? So, now it has taken the nearest noble gas configuration, that is 2, 8. 2 and 8 is 10 electrons, and that gives fluorine a negative charge. You must have noticed that after carbon, the non-metals are forming anions and the metals were forming cations, right? Just keep this in mind till we reach the last element, that is first 20 elements. Okay. Now, next one is neon. Neon is 10, atomic number 20. Electron is 10, that is 2, 8. Proton is 10 and neutron is also 10. 2, 8, stable configuration, no ions, it is a noble gas, right. Coming to the next. Now, after the noble gas, the elements again now to the first group, that is below lithium you have sodium. Sodium 11 and 23. So, electron 11, proton 11 and neutron also, neutron 12. Okay. Now, in this case the electronic configuration is what? 2, 8, 1. So, this 1 electron, if it is lost, it will get the nearest noble gas configuration. So, what happens? Sodium loses 1 electron and acquires a positive charge. Why? Because now it has got 10 electrons and 11 protons, 1 proton extra, 1 positive charge. Is that clear? Moving to the next, magnesium. So, magnesium, atomic number 12, mass number 24, electrons 12, that is 2, 8, 2 electronic configuration. Protons 12, neutrons 12, correct. Now, this 2 electron has to be lost to attain the stable configuration of neon noble gas. So, magnesium loses 2 electrons to form magnesium 2 plus. Why 2 plus? Because now since it has lost 2 electrons, number of electron has become 10 and number of proton is 12. So, 2 protons extra will give 2 positive charge. So, it is a magnesium ion. Moving to the next, that is aluminium, 13, 27, electron 13, proton 13, neutron 14. 13 means 2, 8, 3. So, magnesium has to lose 3 electrons to attain the stable electronic configuration of the neon noble gas. So, aluminium loses 3 electrons to gain 3 positive charge. How 3 positive charge? 3 electrons are lost. 13 minus 3 is 10. 10 electrons and 13 protons, 3 positive charges extra. So, 3 positive charge. Silicon again belongs to the group 14, that is it has 14 electrons, protons 14 and neutron also 14, that is 2, 8, 4. Generally the elements which have got 4 electrons in the outermost orbit do not give electrons or take electrons. They prefer to share their electrons and form covalent compounds instead of ionic compounds. So, they do not form ions in normal circumstances. Okay, so here no ions. Now, we have talked about, we have come from 1 positive, 2 positive, 3 positive. Now, we will go to the non-metals. After silicon, we have got phosphorus. Phosphorus 15 and 31. So, electron is 15, proton is 15 and neutron is 16. 15 means 2, 8, 5. Now, losing 5 electron is difficult, so it prefers to gain 3 electrons. So, what does phosphorus do? It gains 3 electrons, and since it acquires 3 negative charges extra, it has got 3 minus. This is called phosphide ion. Please remember, elemental ions, IDE, phosphide ions. Is that clear? Why 3 negative? Because 3 electrons are added. So, this 15 becomes 18 and 15 proton and 18 electrons, 3 electrons are extra. So, 3 negative charges. Is that clear? Moving to the next. After phosphorus, we have got sulfur. 16, sulfur 32. So, electrons are 16, that is 2, 8, 6. Protons are 16 and neutrons are also 16. So, in this 2, 8, 6, it has to gain 2 electrons to make this 8. So, sulfur gains 2 electrons to make a sulfide ion. Remember this IDE, sulfide ion. Okay, 2 negative. Why? Because after gaining 2 electrons, this 16 becomes 18. So, 16 protons and 18 electrons, 2 electrons extra. So, 2 negative charges. After sulfur, you have got chlorine. 17 and 35. So, electron 17, proton 17 and neutron 18. This is 2, 8 and 7. So, it has to gain 1 electron to form a negative ion, that is chloride ion. Chloride ion. Is that clear? Chloride ion. After chlorine, you have got argon. Argon 18, 22. So, electron is 18, proton is 18 and neutron is 22. So, what is the electronic configuration? 2, 8, 8. K shell is full, L shell is full, now M is also full. In this case, it is no ions because it is a noble gas. Clear? Next one is potassium. It is 19 and 39. So, electron is 19, proton is 19 and neutron is 20. In this case, electronic configuration is 2, 8, 8, 1. So, it has to lose this 1 electron. So, potassium minus 1 electron will give you K plus. Why K plus? Write it in the comment section. Why potassium forms K plus ion? That is potassium ion. Okay, write it in the comment section. Now, the last one is calcium. So, let me rub the board first. Calcium ion, that is 20 and 40. Electrons 20, proton 20 and neutron also 20. Electronic configuration 2, 8, 8, 2. So, this 2 electron has to be lost to attain the stable electronic configuration of the argon noble gas, right. So, now calcium will lose this 2 electron to form calcium 2 plus. Now this information is the basic information required till your 10th standard. The concept of orbit will change when you go to your higher classes, and thus the formation of ions will also differ. Okay, so we will stick to the first 20 elements so that you understand the formation of ions, why cations, why anions. So what have we understood? A little summary. In your periodic table you have got groups and periods. So group 1, then 2, 2, 3 to 12. We are not dealing with it. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. Okay. We are just talking about the first 20 elements that is required for your syllabus. Fine. And in group 1, the first one is hydrogen, and here helium, the noble gas. Hydrogen forms both kind of ions, that is hydrogen plus, hydrogen minus. You know that in the group 1, that is the group of alkali metals, you have got one non-metal. So it is an exception. So it behaves as alkali metals also, and it behaves as halogens also. Fine. Helium do not form a ion. Helium is a noble gas. It does not form ions. Okay. Now moving to the next, that is hydrogen, helium. We have got lithium that forms a positive ion, beryllium 2 plus, boron 3 plus, carbon does not form ion because it has got 4 electrons in the outermost orbit. It prefers sharing rather than forming of ions, though in some cases carbide ions are present. Okay. So after boron, that is carbon, nitrogen 3 negative, that is then oxygen 2 negative, fluorine minus, then you have got neon, noble gas which does not form ions. After neon you have got sodium, again 1 plus, magnesium 2 plus, aluminium 3 plus, silicon 4 electrons in the outermost orbit, prefers sharing rather than ion formation, phosphorus 3 minus, sulfur 2 minus, chlorine minus, argon, noble gas do not form ions, potassium plus, calcium 2 plus. We have done this much today. Now what do you observe? After seeing all the ion formation on your screen, what do you observe? Now you know that group 1 is alkali metals. Okay. Group 2 is alkaline earth metal. Alkaline earth metal. Group 13 is also metal. This one is a metalloid. Silicon is a metalloid. Okay. Aluminium is a metal. Then here you have got non-metals. Okay. Non-metals. Non-metals, you have got halogens here, that is group 17 is called halogens, and group 18 is the noble gas. So when you see in the periodic table, there is a common trend which is followed in the group. Group 1 all have valency 1, all form cations with 1 positive charge. I am not talking about the hydride ion right now. So group 1, lithium, sodium, potassium plus plus plus, positive monovalent cations. Okay. Similarly, group 2 you have divalent cations. Group 13 trivalent cations. Group 15, that is trivalent anion. 16 divalent anion, halogens, monovalent anions. So non-metals forms anions and metals form cations. Will you remember this? Why metals form cations? Because metals have 1, 2 or 3 electrons in the outermost orbit. So, they have the tendency to lose the electrons and acquire a positive charge. So, all the metals form cations. Non-metals have 5, 6 or 7 electrons in the outermost orbit. So, they have the tendency to gain electrons. So, they acquire negative charge, hence they form anions. Is that clear? Any doubt? Put it in the comment section. Put your doubts so that, or which topic you want the next video on, put it in the comment section so I can clear your basic doubts of chemistry. If you understand chemistry now, it will be easier for your higher standards. Okay? These basic concepts are very important when you have to make the formula, right? So, we have understood how to form ions. There are many other cations and anions. The list of the cations and anions will be given in the description. Download it and learn it by heart. Happy learning and be connected. Thank you, children.